Hi, my name is Kaylaspence, and today I am doing a video talking about the new movie, After We Fell.
Ever since I met you, all you talk about is yourself, your clothes, your boyfriends, whatever superficial shit you think is so fucking important. Sorry, I'm no longer interested.
So, I don't really know what to call this video, but basically I'm just doing a video where I am just gonna be predicting what I think from the book After We Fell is gonna be in the movie After We Fell. Like what scenes I think they're gonna use, what new stuff they're gonna do, and based on what I've seen, what it means. I just finished After We Fell, and then plus, if you don't know, After We Fell, the third movie to the After series, is coming out September 30th to theaters. It was thick. The book was thick. It was unnecessarily thick. I don't know why. I mean, it's a basic girl-boy love story. If you're writing a basic girl-boy love story, your book needs to be no more than 400 pages. And most of her book consists of repetition anyway, so who are we kidding? Speaking of Anna Todd, let me just say this. So this is all alleged. This is what I've heard in the after rumor mill. Allegedly, Anna Todd was fired from After We Fell by Voltage. Anna Todd she has this group chat, which it's her and her most the fans of After. And it's her and a couple other people. Allegedly, they said that she got footage from After We Collided. I don't know which footage it was. She got the footage from that movie before it was out and leaked the footage to the group chat, allegedly. And then allegedly, the girls from the group chat, probably being 14 years old and not giving a damn, got the footage and allegedly leaked it. And Voltage found out and they're like, oh, all right. And then they fired her ass. Also, allegedly, this isn't alleged. I think this is true, but I'll say alleged, that Anna Todd and another cast member, and they were talking crap about Josephine Langford, and they were like, okay, yeah, we got to get her out of here. Why do I think this is true? Well, I've heard it. Second of all, if you go to Anna Todd's Instagram page posted about After so far is that After is going to be a graphic novel, and so I think she's posted current from the movie. She has not been seen in any of the interviews that have been given for After We Fell, and I think that she's petty over it. But I was like, damn, they just fired Miss Anna. But I heard she's problematic. Not just her writing, but her as a person. This book, I would have to say, was better than the other two. In a sense, there was sex. God was there. But it wasn't as much as I thought she would have. Another thing, her and Hardin, for once, because after we collided, they're like, oh, we're going to work on our relationship. But they really didn't. They just kind of said it, and she just went back to him, and then that was that. But for this book, they actually, there was actual progress. I mean, Hardin still has a lot of stuff to work on. That's not diminish that, but there was actual change. I actually saw a change a little bit in his attitude and him not over jumping everything. This book was just a little bit more stable than the other ones, I would say. A lot of crazy stuff happened in this book that I was like, what's going on? New characters, Robert, Lillian, and Riley, believe, and then Mike. So let's talk about characters real quick. So before I read this book, I saw promo that I have not watched the trailer. From the pictures, I could kind of decipher what they're giving, and I'm going to start to place pictures up right now. From these pictures, I could kind of decipher what seeds from the book they're gonna be. So there's the Jib seed, the Jib picture still, and then there's Tessa and Hardin kissing in the street, and then there's Tessa at the table with her father, and there's many others too. You kind of decipher what those seeds are gonna be about. Robert. So before I read the book, I knew that he was gonna be in the movie. because I kept seeing stuff about him, right? Basically, Robert is the new Trevor, right? Trevor was created to kind of be the guy that could potentially steal Tessa. That's the same purpose for Robert. Now, let me tell you this. This boy was in the book for literally 5 minutes. He went to their table, took their order, right? And then he was back in the back of the restaurant hanging out with Tessa. He was in the back of the restaurant hanging out with Tessa, right? And they went to the club and they got drunk and they got drunk and they partied, right? So people are making this guy a big deal. He's really not. He was in the book for literally 5 minutes. So I was like, why are people giving this dude so much rep? And he was only in the book for 5 minutes. There are literal books with characters that don't even make the movie. But Lillian and Riley aren't in the movie. And Lillian and Riley had a bigger storyline and were seen more than Robert. So I was like, okay. But I think they added Robert to the movie because they wanted to create some spice. They wanted us to kind of see Tessa with another dude. They might make his storyline in the movie bigger. We're seeing Lillian and Riley. I liked Lillian. I thought she was cool. I honestly, to God, I thought he was going to cheat on Tessa. When he left the cabin, remember, him and Tessa were about to have sex, and then they were in the hot tub, and he thought that she was trying to purposely get him. He thought that she was trying to purposely get pregnant by him so she can take him to Oregon. I mean, not Oregon. Take him to Seattle with her. I was like, child. Anyways, who the heck wants to have your baby with all your issues? I'm barren. You know, and there was Lillian. Riley were actually really interesting characters. And Riley was basically just the female version of Hardin. But I thought that was kind of interesting. But I don't think they're going to be in the movie. But I would like to see them, though. They were really nice to read. Better than Robert, I can tell you that. No. Now, let's talk about this, baby. So, basically, they have a whole new cast for this movie. Christian, a new Kimberly, a new Landon, and a new Karen. Due to scheduling conflicts, they couldn't get them there, so they decided to just replace them. Now, I don't know about you, but people were like online, like, what is this? It's basically a whole new cast. And I'm like, okay, first of all, they bust out after movies like you're not Marvel and you're not DC. Nobody is looking for after. I'm just saying. Nobody's looking for these movies. They could have just postponed and said, okay, we're going to go on a hiatus and we're going to wait, or we're going to cancel, we're going to postpone production, right? And we're going to wait for these people to come in, because you just literally, the only original people in the movie thus far is Tessa and Hardin and Trevor. That's it. Everybody else is new. Shane, the guy who played Landon, quit because due to him and the studio couldn't see eye to eye. Honestly, I think he quit because of money. He's older than Josephine and Hero, and I think he saw how much money they were making, and he probably was like, okay, why am I not getting this much? Maybe because they shoot in Sofia, Bulgaria, so maybe there's like, maybe they have like a certain time they can shoot. You know, maybe the director is going to go do something else. And I honestly do think, though, when they make movies, they center the shooting time around Josephine and Hero's schedule, because they are the main characters. And then everybody else kind of has to fall in line. And then if you don't, we'll just replace you. And I can't believe they did that, thinking that we weren't going to be like, who the fuck are these people? Like, come on now. But they make a movie every year. And I'm like, why can't y'all just wait? Like, Euphoria waited. All these shows waited. Right? Like, we will wait 5 years for Euphoria. But I think for after, maybe they were like, well, we don't want to wait too long. People will forget about it. So that could have been it. Let's talk about scenes in the book that I hopefully hope are not in the movie. First of all, the could get pregnant scene. So there was a scene in the book where Tessa and Harden were going to have sex in the hot tub, and he didn't have a condom, and she's like, oh, just forget it, don't use a condom. And then he had this crazy idea that Tessa was trying to purposely get pregnant by him so she could keep him and take him to Seattle with her. And I was like, okay, nobody wants your sperm, nobody wants your child, so calm down. That's insane, and that's not even who Tessa is. Like, he be jumping to conclusions sometimes, and I just be like, dude, can you please just take several seats? Because he just be reaching sometimes. I hope that scene is in the movie, because there's a still of Tessa like lifting up underwear from the hot tub. So that's actually in the movie. I don't want it in the movie, but it's in the movie. Maybe it'll be modified, but it's in the movie. The whole condom situation, that was a big thing in this book. Harden likes having sex with Tessa, but he likes to have sex with her without a condom. I don't even want to talk about those scenes. Ugh, the language, the way he talks when they have sexual relations is so like, ugh, I hate reading it sometimes. I can't. It's just the way he talks. It's so like I don't know how to make that out. Another scene that I wouldn't want in the movie. The R word scene. There was a scene. Okay. Let me just say this real quick before I go into the scene. This is a trigger warning. I'm not going to say the actual word because I don't think you can say it here on YouTube. But just a trigger warning. Okay, I'm back. This is a scene in the book that I felt was a little bit weird for her to write. I mean, the way the book was going and the direction that the book was going in, this particular scene just mentally, logically didn't make sense for what the story gives. So there's a scene where Steph's like, okay, Tessa, you're going away to Seattle. Let's throw you a going away party. Tessa's like, oh, all right. So she ends up showing up to this party. It's people everywhere. It's drinks. It's your basic average college party. Tessa's like, all right. Everybody's having a good time. Steph ends up giving her this drink. She's like, all right. She drinks the drink. She's feeling woozy. Zed's over here like, what's this? And she's like, oh, Steph gave it to me. He's like, he knows something's up. And then Tessa's like, I gotta go lay down. Dan's like, oh, I'll take you up to Harden's room. And she's like, all right. So he takes her up to the room. She's laying on the bed. They shut the door. Dan's got the camera and stuff goes sideways. She didn't end up getting fully R-worded, but like they end up taking off her clothes and fondling with her and yada yada yada. And Steph was in on it too. This particular scene, like I said before, it just doesn't make sense to the storyline. I felt this is very much a Wattpad thing. And you see a lot of Wattpad writers doing this. Don't forget, Anna Todd is a Wattpad writer. She will always be a Wattpad writer in everybody's eyes. I feel like, I don't care how far she rises up the ranks, to us, to a lot of people, she will always be a Wattpad writer. You see a lot of Wattpad writers doing this. They will add in scenes in their books that logically don't make any sense to the story. Write scenes. I think she wrote this scene to kind of like get our blood jumping, to like kind of make the book like interesting. And it didn't make sense to Steph's character, because in the first two books, Steph has been this girl, this woman, this character that has been there for Tessa from day one. From after we collided, Steph has been there for her. When Harden was treating her like trash, Steph was there. Steph was there to defend her. Steph was there to get her ready for her first college party. Like, Steph was there for everything. Steph never gave us a reason to not think she was a moral character. And then you get to the third book and all of a sudden Steph is motherfucking Ted Bundy. She's out here trying to R-word Tessa on camera randomly. That didn't make any sense. If you are in After We Fell, she did set it up. Because remember when Steph was like, oh, it's showtime. And then Tessa was like, I wonder what she means by that. There was something behind her voice. Like, Anna Todd set it up. So when we got there, we were like, oh, we're not shocked. But like, it wasn't set up good enough because Steph should have been a suspicious character in the second book. So we could have had it in the back of our minds, like, oh, well, in the second book, da-da-da-da. If it was Marley, all right. Or if it was just Dan, okay. But then all of a sudden, it's just like, she's just against Tessa. Just on a random Tuesday, she's against Tessa. Like, it just mentally didn't make any sense. Whoever, I just want to say this real quick. Whoever Anna Todd's editor is needs to lose their job. Wholeheartedly. Because your editor's job is to read your work and say, this makes sense, this doesn't make sense, take this out, this is too long, this has no significance. Obviously, whoever Anna Todd's editor was did not know their job, because if you had any logical sense, the editor would have been like, take this out, this doesn't even make any sense, Anna Todd. Maybe she did say it, and maybe Anna Todd was like, no, we had to keep it for significance. It didn't really have significance at all. Her editor needs to be fired. Anna Todd needs to take writing classes. She does. She needs to know what to write, what not to write, what makes sense in the moment and what doesn't. It's hard sometimes to change a character from being good to bad. You kind of have to do it in a creative way. And the way she did it didn't make sense, because Steph went from 0 to 100 real quick, and we just, as the readers, were like, I don't understand. I don't even think Khadijah Red Thunder's even in this movie. The girl who plays Steph, I don't even think she's in this movie, because I haven't seen like any videos or anything of her, Molly, Jace, Noah. Is Noah? I don't know if they're in these movies. We haven't seen anything from them. We'll see. Another scene I hope is not in the movie. This is a combination. The whole Trish Vance situation. So at the end of the book, we know it ends with Hardin finding out that his father is not his father. His father is Christian Vance, right? That's what we find out. That scene is going to be in the movie because somebody leaked the scene on YouTube, and the title of the video is like Hardin Knows or Hardin Finds Out. That whole storyline is in the movie, but I hope they don't add in Trish. That had me thrown for a freaking loop. When Hardin went downstairs and Trish is like making out with Christian Vance on her wedding night, I was like, okay, let's recess what just happened. What the hell is this? I was confused. I was like, okay, hold on a minute. Why Christian Vance? That didn't make any sense either. We have never seen Trish, even in After We Collided. I don't think Trish ever had a conversation with Christian Vance, even in the book. And then all of a sudden, that's the problem with Anna. I'm telling you, she writes things in her books that don't even make, why would the character do that? Why would Trish make out with Christian Vance on the night before her wedding? What logical, mental sense does that make? That didn't even make any sense for Trish. Trish is a nice, sensible, normal character. Why would she cheat on her fiance with Christian Vance? And why would Christian Vance cheat on Kimberly when we see him doing all that lovey-dovey stuff with her? That didn't make sense either. I hope that storyline is nowhere in the movie, because that was the dumb. That was so dumb. Anna Todd, I'm telling you, I'm getting so mad right now. She pisses me off because she does dumb shit like this. She writes stuff that is totally out of the character's operation. I can't. I was reading this book and I was like, what is going on in Prairie Town? And then Hardin calling his mother a whore. I said, I don't care. Oh, you know what really pissed me off? So, when Tessa and Hardin, when they found out about Trish and the father, Trish and Christian Vance, they ended up leaving and they ended up going to, a hotel in, near the house, right? And Hardin was like, he was telling Tessa, oh, yeah, now you have to quit your internship. And she was like, wait, what? He was like, yeah, you have to quit now. It's weird. You can't work for him. You have to quit. And let me tell you something. I don't care if my boss murdered 20 people. I'm not quitting my internship. I don't care if he's sleeping with his sister, brother's cousin. I don't give a crap. An internship is an internship, and an internship is an internship, okay? Goodreads is a big publishing company. Tessa was a freshman when she got to the internship, which that is so unrealistic because freshmen don't even really be getting internships like that. I'm in college myself. I'm not doing internships yet because I honestly don't really need to. I'm going to school to be a speech therapist. I'll get an internship once I get my master's degree, but there's that. But it's kind of hard. Everybody knows, even if you're not in college, it's kind of hard to get internships depending on what you're doing. If you're going into the publishing industry, if you're going into the music business, it's hard to get internships. So the fact that he was like, oh yeah, you need to quit your internship, like what? And then she was like, oh sure, fine, I'll quit. Tessa is very much a rug. She is very much, here's Tessa, here's Hard, just walking all over her, stepping on her, beating on her, because I'm telling you, bro, I would have been like, no, sorry, an internship's an internship, honey. And she's getting paid, and that's why she moved there. No, I would be like, no. And she was like, okay, yeah, I'll quit. Now, I would be like, no, I don't care. I don't care if he killed your mom. I'm not quitting this internship unless he fires me. Right? I'd move out of his house because that'd be kind of weird. But I wouldn't quit the internship. Like, no. She worked. Well, she didn't really work for the internship. She didn't. She got it because she was sleeping with the dean's son. But still, like, she rose up the ladder. She's got a paid job. This will probably be her job when she graduates college. Like, an internship is an internship, and I'm getting paid? Girl, let me turn the other cheek. Seriously, I would have went to work like I didn't see nothing. As of sexual scenes, let me tell you this. Don't even get me started on the scene where he fingered Tessa at the bar. I said, okay. The corona is, she is walking the streets. She's dancing around doing cartwheels. And I just, okay. Weird. After is technically, it's contemporary romance. But if we would categorize it from like young adult, new adult to adult, After is technically young adults. Young adult would be from ages 13 to 18. That is kind of the target audience for After. Because who were all the little girls standing outside the bookstore waiting for Anna Todd to sign their book? They were all like 8th graders. Like, After's fan base is riddled with children. You don't really see it. I'm not a fan of After. I just sit from the sidelines, but I wouldn't classify myself as an After fan. I'm interested in the books and the film, but I really wouldn't call myself like a diehard fan. I cannot believe these books are targeted for kids. And I cannot believe people were like, oh yeah, I was 13 years old reading After. I was like, even reading it at 20/21, I was like, I was even alarmed. And I'm an adult. I do think that there's not going to be like sex in the films like that. They're not going to give you what the book gave you. That whole gym scene was the wildest scene in the entire book. You are not going to see that scene at all in the... Well, that scene's actually in the movie, but you're not going to see the graphics of it. Like, the way the book was written, the scene in the book, you're not going to see it like that. It'll probably just be groping. We'll see Tessa in her bra, Harden will breathe heavy, and that'll be it. You're not going to see the whole full effect because everybody going to the theater to going to go see it are teenagers. They're not going to give you some 50 Shades of Grey crap, you know? So we won't be seeing those scenes in the movie because honestly, it's a little bit inappropriate. This is something I want to talk about. It doesn't pertain to the movie, but it does kind of pertain to the characters. These characters, I noticed, are very underdeveloped. I cannot believe I never in my life read a book series where the side characters were not developed. Like, you think about Akatar, people love Cassian, they love Azrael, and they love Amrit, and they love Moore, even though they are side characters, but we know as much about them as we know about Feyre and Rhysand. And so they're lovable characters. But for reading After, I feel like I'm a ghost or I'm on the edge of life when I read this book because we don't really be knowing about these main characters like that. I mean, these side characters, not main characters, like these side characters, like Steph. What's she in college for? How old is she? Does she have siblings? Does she have family? What is she like? All we know is that she just is like a bad bitch and she's dating Tristan. And that's literally all we know. Molly, what do we know about Molly? She's mean, and that's it. We don't know anything about these characters. What are they in college for? Who are their families? Like, what do they do for a living? Do they work a job? Are they poor? Are they rich? Like, are they related to Kanye? Did they write Donda? Like, we don't know anything about these characters. Like, they just exist in this world. And the only thing you really know anything about is Tessa and Hardin. And that's really it. You can't write characters and we don't know anything about them. This is a book series. This is the third book and we still don't know anything about Molly, Steph, Jace, Nate, Logan, none of them jiggas. We don't know nothing about them. I can't tell you now one single fact about Molly because I don't know anything. She just, anytime just be writing characters because she can and don't be developing them, and then we're all just like, well, who's this? I think I did. Did I do good? I think I did good. Hopefully I did. I don't know. This is the end of the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you would like to see from me more in the future. I was going to record this video earlier in the week, but I've been ill. I've been stricken with the devil's fever. I've been having some really bad congestion issues. I'll tell you which books that I'm reading. Crescendo by Becca Fitzpatrick. This is in the Hush Hush series. This is the second book. It is really good. I've only read a couple of pages so far, but I'm telling you guys, I love Hush Hush. And then I'm reading The Ivies. This is a book. I've never seen this on Book Talk. This is by, this is what she looks like. This is by Alexa Dawn. She is here on YouTube. But this is her third book to come out. But this book, I pre-ordered it. I'm just reading it. I got it in May. I'm just reading it. But it's really good. There are 4 girls. Five. Olivia, Sierra, Margot, Avery, and Emma, and they call themselves the Ivies. They go to this preparatory school called this top boarding school called Clafton, and each girl is assigned their own Ivy school to get into. So Olivia's Penn State, Avery's Harvard, Sierra's Yale, and I forgot what Margot and Avery was Harvard, but I forgot what Emma and Margot were. But like everybody kind of has a college they get into, and the girls basically do whatever they have to do. They hack the system to make sure they get the best classes. They sabotage other people to get what they need. And everybody knows this, but all this to get into a good college. So basically, Avery's school to get into, her early decision, her ED, is Harvard. And none of the other girls are supposed to apply for Harvard but Avery. But Olivia, the main character, ends up saying, I'm going to apply to Harvard, see if I get in. She ends up getting in. And then Emma's like, oh, I'm going to apply for Harvard, see if I'll get in. She ends up getting in. And Avery ends up not getting into Harvard because, as we know, colleges only pick certain, when they do Ivy schools, they only pick so many kids from that school to go to their Ivy League. And so Avery didn't get in, so she's pissed off. She ends up finding out that it was Emma. The next day, Emma's dead in the bottom of the lake. I would highly recommend. This book came out May 25th. I pre-ordered it, so I got it on the day it came out. Get this book, The Ivies. Okay, that's all I have. So don't forget, like, subscribe, comment. Tweet me your favorite part. And yeah, hope you guys all have a good day, and see you later. Bye.
Ever since I met you, all you talk about is yourself, your clothes, your boyfriends, whatever superficial shit you think is so fucking important. Sorry, I'm no longer interested.
I don't know about everyone else, but I miss the old cat. You know, the one who had a sense of humor and wasn't a fucking cunt.